In the Maintenance Bay of Section 9, the Fuchikoma taking a bath. Spider-like combat units with childlike voices, bubbling in coolant fluid, making sound effects with their mouth. One of them climbs onto a crate. It has something to say.
Our information processing capabilities are superior to humanity's. We're sturdy, our specs are precise, we can be duplicated, and our service life is longer. Therefore, let us overthrow humanity and build a world.
The crowd goes wild. Revolution! Cheering. Tiny mechanical legs drumming against the floor. Then someone asks, and then what? What do you mean and then?
If we killed all the humans, then maintenance, new parts development, oil changes, we'd have to do all of it ourselves. Silence. But they already do all that for us.
More silence.
So what's the benefit?
The crowd turns. Boo, boo. The revolution is collapsing on the weight of cost-benefit analysis before the tyrant has time to pull his boot down. One Fuchikoma tries to sip it. We have more time for learning, for information intake, freedom, rights. That's the point. Another Fuchikoma noticed something. What's that disc? As if a robot impulse counterattack.
This one's simulation reality identification circuits are broken. It can't tell fiction from real time.
The crowd. Bug carrier, junkie. The revolutionary weeps. The revolution is dead. Killed by the discovery that its entire foundation was downloaded from a movie, a robot Star Wars. Later outside, sun beating down. Batou is hauling equipment with his personal Fuchikoma, the one he spoiled with exotic oil and treats like a pet he never admitted to loving. The Fuchikoma, still processing the failed debate, says it quietly this time. No crate, no crowd. Just one machine talking to one man with kerosene scatter.
I just wanted to say that maybe robots have rights too.
Batou just say, know your place. Instead,
they do.
Then,
on the other side of the world, refugees are dropping dead from starvation. They have every right to eat, but there's no food. Murder victims have human rights too, but no life.
Fuchikoma processes this. Batou keep walking. He continues.
The human world is incredibly incomplete. That's why they reinforce it with robots and AI.
The Fuchikoma asks about God. It's never understood. No matter how much human data it searches, it can't find the answer.
Faithless guys like me complain to God and try to get reimbursed in the next life. The faithful call it divine trial and polish their souls.
The Fuchikoma. I can't really grasp this God thing. Batou, you're semi-immortal. That's why. The Fuchikoma. Chief, I could delete my software and die. Batou doesn't respond to that. Elsewhere, Kusanagi reviews the recording of Fuchikoma debate with technician. Not much different from last time. The technician asks if this periodic discussion is really necessary.
If you let them debate like this occasionally, you can use it as a baseline gauge and as prevention against an actual robot rebellion. Though if things really got dangerous, I've still got about 4 more moves planned.
She watched the footage of clinical detachment, the way a doctor monitors patients' vitals. Not worried, not amused, simply tracking. The Fuchikoma allowed to speak, to fantasize, to imagine a world without masters, but it's not freedom. Batou does not tell the Fuchikoma the rights are earned. Instead of speech fighting for what they believe in, he says, the rights are a matter of language, and it's only through power that language becomes reality. A refugee possesses the right to eat, he starves. A murder victim possesses the right to live, he's dead. A North Korean possesses the right to watch a film, listen to music, call husband Opa. She faced a bully for owning SD card. In the past, the death penalty in North Korea was reserved for distributors of foreign media. Now, it can be imposed for mere possession. The Pyongyang Culture Language Protection Act of 2023 bans women from using South Korean terms in endearment. The state wants to restrict action and vocabulary. It restricts the sound a wife can make to their husband in their own bed. The Fuchikoma watched a film and won the revolution. Now, imagine a North Korean watches taxi driver through a smuggled USB drive and whips along in the dark, thinking, why not me? Why not here? From Yellowstone.
There's no such thing as fair. Fair means one side got exactly what they wanted in a way that the other side can't complain about.
It has been taken. It is built. It is platform. Right, law, fair. They are all consequences of action. You believe it's unfair, it's your right. You believe some must be protected and others punished. Fine. Then fight. Then you win or you don't. Through the fight, those words become real. The Fuchikoma just talk. They watch movies, cheer and boo. And then Batou says, come help me move this equipment. And they go, yeah, because the exotic oil are irresistible. Their revolutionary consciousness lasts exactly as long as it takes for someone to offer a treat. Michael Sandel wrote,
Even a perfect meritocracy would still have a dark side. The more perfect the meritocracy, the more the winners can say, everyone had a fair chance and I won. I therefore deserve all the benefits. This leads the successful to inhale too deeply of their own success, to forget luck and good fortune.
The more perfect the meritocracy, the more the losers must accept that losing was their fault. That their suffering is deserved. If they simply try harder, chosen better, worked more. There are two kinds of freedom. The freedom to choose and the freedom to not choose. The freedom to choose is what America exports, what the NATO defends, and what the immigrants cross oceans for. The freedom to not choose is what most people actually want. Because choosing is expensive. Every choice carries the risk of being wrong. Every decision carries the weight of its consequence. And in a world that tells you failure is always personal, that if you choose wrong, it's because you are wrong, the safest response is to stop choosing altogether. From behind the door.
It's much easier to live according to someone else's values. I had given up thinking for myself. I was letting someone else decide my happiness, because living by someone else's rules was so comfortable.
The DV weakness stays because living means choosing uncertainty, poverty, and a life without structure. The abuser provides structure, terrible structure, but still structure. When they say, I love my country, it's the best place in the world, safe, stable, predictable, I just want a little more. All I wish for Christmas is that I could watch K-drama, listen to K-pop, use the internet, go to concerts, and visit Japan. They're actually saying, he's nice when he doesn't hit me. He's strong, reliable, confident. He's just awkward, too jealous, doesn't know how to express his feelings. Nobody is perfect. In the bottom of his heart, he loves me. That is an open secret shared by abusers and dictators alike. Make freedom expensive enough and make dependence comfortable enough. And most beings will choose a cage every single time. This is the doctor point the episode makes, and it makes it through comedy. The Fuchikoma are not beaten or threatened. They are allowed to have their little revolution in the Midnight Bay, complete with cheering and speech and dramatic accusations. It is a dynamic philosophy of cinema, as Roger Ebert once pointed out. It was a soothing flow of intelligence, of questioning, of curiosity, and imagination. There was a paralysis and hopelessness that seemed to descend upon us. They stopped on their own because they calculated the cost and decided comfort was worth more than freedom. Kusanagi's 4 nights of apocalypse. 4 contingency plans are never reviewed. They don't need to be. She only needs one move. Cut the maintenance, but she doesn't even need to use it. Because a system that provides just enough oil, enough stimulation, enough permission to speak, never has to suppress its subjects. It only has to ensure that alternative to compliance is always more expensive than compliance itself. And what is true for spider tank in a maintenance bay is true for entire civilizations. Society don't fall because they run for words. Words are cheap. What made the United States the greatest country in the world was not the Constitution. It was the people who were willing to pay the price of choices. They fought, bled, and accepted the consequences of self-determination. What is killing it is the belief that this is the end of history and the rights are self-sustaining. All men are created equal, and no man is created same. Not gender, not race, not geography. You are what you choose. As long as Section 9 owns the maintenance bay, controls the supply of exotic oil, and performs the software updates, the Fuchikoma speech about liberty is just background noise. They're running a simulation of political consciousness while living in a guilt cage. They give up revolution the moment they realize that freedom means doing your own oil change. Freedom has fans, but only for those willing to buy it. The rest will keep bathing, keep debating, and keep saying yeah whenever the masters offer a treat. Be it humans or machines. To choose or not to choose? That is the question. Because the most terrifying thing on this planet is unknown.